Hello and welcome to a video review for Beast Wars Optimus. Yes, I am finally going to do a review of this guy. And let me tell you something, I may be a bit biased in this review because this is my all-time favorite Transformer. Yeah. But before we get to the toy and his accessories, let me move these out of the way. Let's take a look at the packaging. Oh yes, we got some really nice box art. That is freaking sweet action going on right there. As you can see, it says Transformers, Beast Wars, 4-mode conversion with electronic lights. That is always nice and appreciated. And on the side here, we have all 4 forms that he takes on. We've got his beast form, we have his ground vehicle mode, we have his aerial vehicle form, and the robot form. Now on the box they're called, I'm gonna have to move this up. Okay. On the box they are called Beast, Ground Assault, Hypersonic Attack, and Super Robot. Okay. Now let's take a look at the back of the box here, where we have an obligatory product shot, and he's partly mistransformed. I don't know. Anyway, we also have like a technical sketch of the robot mode and all the features that it has packed in. Battle reactive, green glow eyes, orange in beast mode, wing shields, shield receptacles, command module, scramjets, articulated hands, smart missile storage, blast away armor, yeah, things of that nature. And right here we have the card and his tech specs. He is a Maximal. Sorry, you might not have even seen that. But he is a Maximal. And for those of you who are not familiar with Beast Wars, let me tell you a bit about the Maximals. They are descendants of the Autobots. That's it. They're still good guys, and they still fight for truth and justice, yada yada yada, yak yak yak, I am boring you to death. Anyway. And according to this here, it is an expert challenge level of robot conversion. Oh, I missed this. There's also bio. I'm not gonna read it. And here we have descriptions of what transmetals are. And on the bottom, we have other transmetal figures that were available at the time. We've got Cheetor, we got Transmetal Pterosaur, Transmetal Air Razor, Transmetal Rat Trap, Optimus Primal, Megatron, yada yada yada. Oh, speaking of Megatron, I saw the Dragon Megatron. I want to get him someday. So yeah, that's about it for the packaging. I'm not gonna throw it off to the side. That's MGo's thing. So yeah, I've stolen quite enough of MGo's content. I don't need to be stealing that too. So anyway. Here is Optimus in his jet form, which the box calls the hypersonic attack form, but really it's a jet. I mean, there's no denying it. It's a jet. Anyway, so let's get in close here. We have the cockpit here, which can open. And I don't have Masterpiece Starscream, but I am positive that Dr. Arkeville could fit in there. Very nice. His colors are orange, a brown, gray, black, and some metallic, what is that, magenta, burgundy, and some metallic blue. Okay. So Now, before I get into even further detail of the jet mode, let's get into his accessories. First things first, he comes with these blast shield things, and each blast shield is made up of 3 components. Okay. But these can attach in each form. As you can see, we have this square hole right here in these pylon things. And basically what you want to do is you want to line this post up with the hole inside of the rectangular cutout. And of course, it's not always easy to see, but once you get that in, you can squeeze the components together and slide it in the rest of the way. Now do the same on the other side, and there we go. Yeah, now he's looking more like the show. Yeah, it's really nice. It's a nice looking jet right there. Now, he also comes with 5 more accessories. He comes with these clear missiles. Now what you do with these, you take 2 of them, and we have these clips right back here. Well, you could take these missiles and store them in the clips right here. And they stay on really stiff if you put them on a certain way. Which, for the life of me, I can never really figure out. Let's do that to the other side here. There we go. Oh. I think I must have... There we go. Okay. So that's 2 of the missiles. Now the other 2 can load up into this turret up top here. Like that. There we go. Now, this does bring me to a feature that this toy does. And there is this piece back here. And if you pull it back halfway, I'm not sure how well you can see that. Or, okay, right there. This central targeting retina lights up yellow. And these... Okay, right there. You can see it right there. The inside of the actual turret will light up red. And if you pull it back the rest of the way, the missiles will in fact fire. So, yeah, it's pretty nice. Now he comes with one more thing. He comes with this machine gun, which I don't think he ever had in the cartoon. Okay. But this can store in this mode. We have pegs on either side, right here, and on top of the turret, we've got 2 holes. Okay. Well, you can peg it in up top like that, or you could peg it in on the other side. You know, it's up to you. Personally, I don't really care to store this gun up top because, quite frankly, I think it just looks ridiculous. If it came with 2 of them, that would have been cool. I would have been fine with that. But, oh well. So, as you can see, we have thrusters on the bottom of the feet. So, whoosh. And it's got a really impressive wingspan. What did this measure to? 19 inches? Yeah. So the wingspan is longer than the figure is tall in robot mode. So, spoiler alert, But yes, he does have a wingspan of 19 inches, as I remember. Anyway. So, yes, that is pretty much it for Optimus in jet mode. Now, he has another vehicle form, which he only used twice in the cartoon, and it is called the Ground Assault Vehicle. Some people call it a truck, some people call it an armored car, but honestly, it's a tank. Because this turret is still present in that mode, so yeah, it's a tank. Now, I'm gonna take the missiles out, but I'm gonna leave the blast shields on because, honestly, the blast shields don't really affect anything. They can pop off if you're not careful, but on my figure, these are nice and stiff. Or, the blast shields are. Some of the joints on this figure are loose because I played with this thing, man. I mean, it may not look like it. I mean, it looks like it's in mint condition, but truth be told, I've played with this thing. I was careful, but yes, I did play with this thing because why not? I mean, it's a toy, and what's the purpose of a toy? You play with it. So, yeah, I played with this toy. I'll admit it. Now, if I can shut up about that and get into the transformation to the ground assault. First things first, I want to take the tail fins and I'm going to point them straight up and back. And then I'm going to take these panels here and flip them down. These will be the wheels. And I'm going to bend the thrusters up a little further. And that's the rear half. So we're halfway done. Now, we're going to take these turbines on the bottom here. We're going to close them in together. We're going to bring them out like this. And this is where it gets interesting. We're going to turn these fist things up. And actually, yeah, you do want to open the fingers up just a little bit. And I don't know. Okay, yeah, you can see. So there is a peg right here. And, okay. I'm gonna turn on this light here. So if you look right there, there is a hole right there. It's probably hard to see that because this is cast in black, and black is pretty dark. In fact, probably too dark to make out any extra details. Anyway, there is a hole in there, and that peg is actually going to go into the hole. So, what you want to do, you want to collapse this pylon in, and bring this bit in to peg into the hole. And second verse, same as the first. You fold that in, there's a peg, hole, and put the peg in the hole, like that. And then finally, you want to fold the wings up and tilt them back. And there he is in his ground assault mode. Yeah. Now, he does roll. He actually rolls better than you think. So, yeah. I guess I can tilt this down a little bit. There we go. Now, some people have a tendency to fold the cockpit back going into this mode. I don't like to do that because, quite frankly, that just makes it look stupid. Besides, you can just leave the cockpit down like that. It doesn't hurt anything. Plus, it actually looks more show accurate like this. So, yeah. That's his tank mode. Now the missile firing gimmick obviously still works in this mode. Pull it back halfway, it lights up, pull it back all the way, and one of the missiles just shot all the way the hell across the room. And I think the other one just dropped off the table. Oh, no it didn't. Okay, so, give me a moment. Oh, God. So, yeah. The springs in the turret are freaking powerful. Now, obviously, the gun can also be stored in this mode, but, again, I choose not to. I mean, it's fine as is. So, that's him in his ground assault mode. Like I said, it's a tank. It may not look like a tank, but it's a tank. Obviously, the jet mode looks more like a jet than this probably does a tank. And some people are probably going to argue saying that the vehicle modes aren't really vehicles. Well, you have to take this into account. At the time that Beast Wars took place, I mean, it was prehistoric times, and vehicles didn't exist back then, so you gotta cut them some slack. And plus, when Optimus Primal absorbed Optimus Prime's spark to become Optimal Optimus, the Autobots had not yet scanned, like, Earth vehicle modes. So, again, you gotta cut them some slack. But honestly, though, for what it is, it's not that bad. Now, I like the vehicle forms, but the Beast mode is actually a bit more fun. Now, to get him into to get him into Beast mode, what you want to do is flatten these feet out and fold the back wheels behind, and then you want to take the arms up here, separate them like this, and you're going to want to split the arms out at these blue pieces. Because you're going to fold this wheel in, and then fold the gorilla chest around, like that, and then you can peg it back into place. Now for the cockpit. Let me move the camera up a little bit so you can probably see better what I'm doing. What you want to do with the cockpit is you want to fold it back about halfway, and let me move this arm. Actually, let me move both arms up to get them out of the way. Now what you want to do is you want to turn this whole section around like this, and then take the cockpit, fold it up the rest of the way, and there is a hole in here, and there's a peg. I'm pretty sure you can make those out. You gotta make sure the peg goes into the hole, and then you can turn the turret around like that. And now, I'm gonna turn the wings back, like this, and voila! He's in beast mode, which is a transmetal gorilla. A very, very fierce and very violent looking gorilla. Look at that face. Ooh. I would be terrified to pass a gorilla with this kind of a face. I mean, that is just freaking scary. And surprisingly, it's actually very realistic looking, despite the color scheme and the techno bits on the side of its head, but it's still very real looking. Yeah. Now, he does have a gimmick in this mode where, I'm sorry, I didn't explain this. Now, there's an extra hinge, like, right back here. What you want to do is, at this front hinge, you want to lift the gun up, and then bend it at the second hinge, and then there's a switch on this side of the turret, and if you push that switch in, it'll flip the guns down. Yeah, you can do that, and believe it or not, the missile firing gimmick still works in this mode. There's this hook back here. Pull on that, it will then activate the light up feature. And of course, if you get it just right, the targeting retina will light up his eyes. So, now a thing I like to do is I like to pop the arms out just a little bit to give it some more wiggle room, because let's be honest, the limbs are pretty bulky and it's kind of hard to pose this thing when everything's crashing into each other. But yes, I said pose because guess what? This thing is articulated. The head, it's just on this hinge due to the transformation, but if it serves any purpose to you, you can employ it if you'd like. The arms can rotate all the way around. It can move in and out. There is an elbow bend, and there is also rotation at the elbow. The hands can turn and open and close. And of course, the thumb can wiggle a little bit. Now, he has waist rotation. That's nice. And let me get the wings out of the way. The legs can move at the hips in every which way you choose. And of course, you can also move the feet if that serves any purpose for you. But yeah, you can pose him. I do remember getting him posed in a punching stance once upon a time. I think it was something like that. Yeah, it's not completely hunched over, but actually, maybe it was more like that. Not a very realistic gorilla, but you can hunch him over like one. So, yeah. That's his beast form, or at least that's how I like to pose him. Because if you have his legs straight, he'll look more like a robot. So, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for his beast mode. Now, for the piece de resistance, the robot mode. So, first things first, I already mentioned what the first step is. You gotta straighten out his legs. Now, there's actually two hinges in his legs. At the lower hinge, like, there is a slot in here, and there is this, I'm not sure what to call it at this point. Well, it's a square post. Let's just call it that. Anyway, there is a slot and there's a square post, and when you straighten it out, you have his leg all straight. Same with the other side. Straighten it out like that. And you already have his legs. I like to fan out the tail fins again. Now for the arms. I'm gonna flip his thumb around. Open the hand and flip the thumb around. And then fold the wings around like this. And then you're gonna want to detach the blue pieces again. lift the gorilla chest up, fold the wheels back out, and fold the gorilla head in. And actually, before we do that, we want to turn the blue sections up, and there is a hole, and there is a peg on the side of the gorilla chest. Just plug that in. Same with the other side. Oops. I overshot the hole. Come on. There we go. And then you can open up the wheel, form the turbines again, and then you can turn his whole waist around. And then spin the turret around, fold it back, bring the arms down. And then finally, drum roll please, flip the head out. There you have him. You have Optimus in his robot mode, and holy shoot, check out this big behemoth. I love this robot form. Now, let's get the camera up. Get in close on his head. Yes. That is a very, very, very well done head sculpt. I love it. I love it! It looks like the head that we saw in the Beast Wars cartoon, and let me tell you, it is awesome. Now, the light up feature still works in this mode, except we have the added addition of his green eyes, which he did have in the cartoon. He had green eyes. And coincidentally, my eyes are green. But no, that's not the main reason why I like this guy. It's just a weird coincidence. Anyway. Now, the blast shields, you can pop them off. Actually, let me show you this gimmick, because this is kind of fun. I mean, the whole thing is spring-loaded. There we go. Okay, so we have these black levers on his forearm. You push the lever back. Yeah, it's not called a blast shield for nothing. It literally blasts off his arm. Anyway, so what can we do with these in this mode? Well, you could always put them back onto his arm, or if you want, just like the show, they can also peg onto his shoulders as kind of like elongated, oversized shoulder pads or something. Come on. There we go. Like that. But honestly, I mean, look how ridiculously tall it makes his forearms. Why the hell would anyone pose their optimal Optimus like that? I don't know. I mean, it would be your toy. You should feel free to display it however you wish. Me, personally, I would rather just stick them on the forearms and call it a day. Honestly, I mean, that looks so much better. Granted, the blast shields are optional, but truth be told, I'd rather they just stay on the forearms. But of course, if you want to put them on the shoulders, hey, go ahead. Knock yourself out. It's listed in the instructions, or at least I think it is. You know, truth be told, I haven't really read the instructions, nor do I know where the instructions are. Anyway. So, bring in the missiles again. Now again, you can store 2 on the clips with the wheels, which are now his legs. And you can load up the turrets up top. And again, we have that whole light up feature, and if you push it back all the... not push. If you pull it back all the way, the missiles will fire. So, we have that. And of course, we have the gun from earlier, which I chose not to store on the vehicle forms or the beast form, because quite frankly, it just looks stupid just hanging on. But in robot mode... Sorry, saliva. Anyway, in robot mode, I mean, we have a handle here, but his hands can't really grasp it. But we do have a hole on the back. Well, remember that peg that I mentioned converting him to tank mode? Well, that also serves a purpose in robot mode, because that's what the gun latches onto, and then his hands just curl around the gun so he can hold it like a rifle. Now, again, I don't think he ever used this gun, but, you know, it is a nice addition. But let me ask you this. When you have nipple cannons, what is the point of an extra gun? I'm sorry, I don't get it. But you know, it is a nice accessory to have, so honestly, I could do without it. I mean, this right here, this is complete to me. The extra 5 accessories, I mean, we could probably do without them, but you know, they are nice additions. Okay. Now, let's get into his articulation. His head can go all the way around. His arms can do a full 360. You can move them in and out. And just like in jet mode, you can bring the shoulders out as far as you want them. He can bend at the elbow. He can spin at the elbow. The hands can open and close. You can move his thumb if you wish. The hands can also rotate however you please. You can also deploy his wings if you wish. He does have the waist rotation that I mentioned in beast mode. And the legs are much more posable in this form. They can move out. They can move forward. They can move back. They can bend at the knee way over 90 degrees. And his feet can also move up and down if that serves any purpose to you. So, yeah. Very, very awesome Transformer. Now, let's do a size comparison or two, shall we? Let's. Here is Cybertron Optimus Prime, who in his standard robot form is about the size of an Ultra, and Optimal Optimus is a whole head taller. But what about Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime in his Super Robot mode? Actually, the Robots in Disguise Prime is half a head taller. That's nice. What else do we have here? Oh. Here's Combiner Wars Menasor. Okay, that's an unfair comparison. I mean, it's a combiner, but Yeah, we have that. So, my final thoughts on Optimal Optimus. He is my favorite Transformer, without question. Is he perfect? Well, no. He does have his flaws, but you know what? I can overlook them because, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this guy is my favorite Transformer, so I can overlook what little flaws he has. If I did have to change one thing, it's the turret. Like, in the show, the turret would slide back and fold down against his back. Kind of like how I showed you in Beast Mode, and then his head would flip around or pop up somehow. But you know, it's not too big a deal. If there was a masterpiece version of this figure, I wouldn't mind if it was just an upscaled replica, but the thing with the turret is the one thing I would definitely fix. But you know what? It's fine as is. It works for me. This is an easy 10 out of 10 for me. If you're not into Beast Wars, well, this guy is still worth a look because, I mean, he's a quadruple changer. And I'm pretty sure this is the first quadruple changer that is actually posable. He's not the very first quadruple changer, but he's the first one who's posable. Articulated. So, do I recommend this guy? Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, I give him a 10 out of 10. It's easy for me. If you're looking to find this guy, go ahead and get him, because guess what? He's worth it. I love this Transformer, and chances are, if you're a fan of Beast Wars and you like the Optimus character, it's out of this world. So, until next time, guys, thank you for watching, and have a good one.